Yes, sir. स्टार्ट करा सर. स्टार्ट.
ओके चल. आवाज येत आहे ना?
हो येतो एकदम.
ओके फाईन फाईन. ओके ओके. Good afternoon, dear students.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Now we will start from the
ऑडियो चालू हो गया?
हाँ चालू है हाँ हाँ कर लिया मैंने.
so we will start from, let's say, the defense forces.
हॅलो सर.
Yes.
सर मला रेकॉर्डिंग करायची परमिशन द्या ना.
ते शिंदे सरांना बोलायला लागेल कारण त्यां Can you see what I have written?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes,
What
sir.
it is?
Asta.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay, that's good. Fine. So I was talking about, let's start with the defense forces. So as far as India is concerned, we do have three different armed forces called as Army, Navy, and obviously last one is
Air Force.
force. Right. So these are three different forces which we do have. As far as Army is concerned, it looks to the land-based,
Border.
let's say, a branch of armed forces of
Sir, I can't listen you.
chief of
Sir, unmute yourself.
okay, fine. Now am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So I was talking about the land-based branch called Army, which is commanded by the Chief of Army Staff. Right. This is always a 4-star, let's say, rank or honor, and this is also called as the general. Right. So you are known for this concept. Now, apart from this, what I want to tell you, there is a 5-star honor called Field Marshal. And in fact, although this is the highest rank in the army, right? Apart from this, there is highest honor that is called Field Marshal. So we will be seeing what exactly this Field Marshal is, right? So Army is a land-based branch commanded by the Chief of Army Staff. The Chief of this staff is called Chief of Army Staff, and whose honor is always a 4-star, as we know, 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, 5-star likewise. So this is 4-star, and corresponding to each of these forces, the chief of the respective 2 forces will be also known as chief of that particular force, right? Chief of Naval Staff, Chief of Air Force, likewise. Right? Although the names will be different. So
Hello, sir.
in this
Sir, I
case,
can't
I
hear
was
you, sir.
talking about the 5th-star honor, which is called Field Marshal. So this Field Marshal
Hello,
is
sir.
a ceremonial position, and whenever the general himself or herself get on the field, then this particular honor is conferred. And this is the greatest honor, right, which have been conferred only for how many peoples? Two peoples till date, as far as Indian Army is concerned. So, first is the KM Kariappa, and second is Field Marshal. Right? This is Field Marshal KM Kariappa, and second is Sam Manik Shah. Sam Manik Shah. So these are the two. These were two people who have been on the battlefield, and therefore they have been conferred with the ceremonial position or the greatest honor of the army called Field Marshal. So you have to always keep in mind these two names, which are very important as far as the highest honor conferred to one of the armed forces. Likewise, we will be seeing in the Navy and obviously in the Air Force as well. So this is about these two names. So in this case, later on we will be going to these two forces. Now we have started with the army, so we will be finishing a lot much about the army first. So what are the missions of this particular force? Now why I am telling to just saying the names of these two and this particular is not enough. And that is the reason yesterday I said that lot many you will be covering in the lecture itself only. I always thought that you need not to prepare this particular point after the lecture. So everything should, or as much as you can get prepared in the lecture during lecture only. So that is my objectives. That is the reason why I am telling you the kind of story about this particular these two names and the greatest honor called Field Marshal. So I will just tell you about one or two missions of the army. So what are the different missions? We can call them as objectives, right? As you might be knowing something about it. So obviously it always ensures. So to ensure, what has to ensure? Very first thing is national security. So this is the first mission or the first object of army. In fact, it is the first objective of these three forces. So national security. Second, we can consider the national unity. Fine. So whatever the missions here I will be discussing. So sometimes the question can be asked, which of the above or which of the following are the missions of either of these three forces? In fact, for this and for this, we will be seeing it. But as many as missions are there for army, not that many are for the Navy and Air Force, right? So sometimes, since there are 4 or 5 options are there, MCQs, so 4 different objectives will be given, and last objective will be all of the above. So your answer is always all of the above, right? So national security, national unity. Third, you can consider that is called the internal threats, which is very important. Sometimes you have to deploy the army. Nowadays, many state governments are calling for the army because the situation because of COVID-19 has somewhere has gone out of control of the state police.
Hello.
So
Hello.
they are requesting to the Indian army or the armed forces. So this is about internal threat. Sometimes you have to also think about maintaining the peace within the borders. Not only borders, always keep in mind within the borders. So these points, not only for the sake of telling you about missions, but always keep in mind these different points in successive lectures will be accompanied with the some of the stories and some of the general knowledge, which you can call it as current affairs. So at that time, these points will be again coming up. But at that time, I will not be saying you that this is the mission of or one of the objectives of the Indian Army. And therefore, you have to always think about these things. Right? So you have to always maintain the peace within the borders. So sometime later, we will be seeing one of the operations in which, in fact, it is in the maintaining peace within the borders. Right? So one more thing which you can consider, that is for rescue operation. So you have to rescue the people from natural calamities, such as in 2013 there were in Uttarakhand there were huge floods. So at that time Indian Army had played a very good role. And so these are some of the objectives or the missions of the Indian Army, which you have to always keep in mind. So only to ensure these things? No. Apart from this, they have to always execute some of the operations. So execute operations. So yesterday, as an introduction, I was talking about Operation Cactus. So in this case, the president of Maldives have been liberated by the people who wanted to overthrow the government of Maldives. Right. So that was about the, let's say, Operation Cactus. Sir, there are some operations, let's say Surya. Right.
Sir, can you
Again,
repeat?
which one? Operation Cactus. Right. So in Maldives there were groups who wanted to overthrow the government of Maldives, and for that earlier they have arrested, or they have, I can say, taken away some of the government personnel. I think they have first taken away their health minister. पण त्याच्यावरून त्यांचं काम झालं नाही. So later on they for their president, and in that case then that particular government has asked to the Indian government for the help, and Indian Army has successfully liberated that particular government, and the groups were, let's say, destroyed. So that was about Operation Cactus. So I'm just talking about you different kinds of operations. Right. So here you have to always consider this particular point. You should not worry about these things, because sometime later in some of the lectures we will be going for the commandos, different kinds of commandos. Right. You might have heard about Black Cat Commando. You might have heard about any other commandos. So these different commandos have, or different commandos are being deployed in such kind of operations. So here your point is, you should always think about this point to ensure some of these points, and second is this one, to execute some of the operations. So these are the major tasks which are being carried out by the army. Apart from this, if I write here some, let's say, Operation Vijay or Operation Meghdut. If you look for Operation Vijay is for the liberation of Goa, right? So that was liberation of Goa. In Operation Meghdut, we have captured the Siachen Glacier in Kashmir. So that was, let's say, a kind of different operation. Not only these operations, sometimes you have to participate, or your army has to participate into this can be considered as third point, participation. So this participation will be in the, let's say, United Nations peacekeeping programs, peacekeeping missions or programs. So here again you have to look into, or every year some of the Indian Army people or army mains are being sent to the UN to participate in different kinds of peacekeeping missions. Syria, Iran, Iraq, America, USA has deployed their military or the forces in Syria, let's say in Iran. So likewise, in fact, it is not only for that is not for peacekeeping, but UN is always looking for the peacekeeping of these different operations. So this is about the army. Let's go for Navy, second one. Now, second is Navy. So it is a naval branch, as army was the land branch. So it is a naval branch of armed forces, and it is headed by say Chief of Naval Staff. Chief of Naval Staff. Again, it is a 4-star rank. 4-star rank. Fine. So, if you see into the, let's say, mission of the Navy, then this is to safeguard the nation's maritime, आपण समुद्र किनारा म्हणतो, right? So nation's maritime borders. So the mission of the Navy is to safeguard the nation's maritime borders. Also to detect or defeat any threats. To detect or defeat any threats. Now see, what are these threats? So Ajmal Kasab and company had attacked on Mumbai. So they have come by the sea, through the water. So these are the different threats. Looking for these threats is one of the missions of the Navy. And therefore, you can consider the mission of Navy is to also detect and defeat any threat against the terrorists or the territories. Then apart from this, as army has been deployed in many of the rescue operations, here it is always been used for disaster relief. So this can be another mission which we can consider for the objectives of Navy. Now this is very short and brief, right? As far as we consider the importance of these forces, and here to learn in detail is not our motto, right? We have to just understand structurally what exactly it is, and we have to move ahead so that we can cover the most important points which are being asked, or there is a great probability of being asked in your SPI's paper. So third one is about Air Force. Now, as I said, Indian Army is second largest in the world. Likewise, Indian Air Force is fourth largest in the world. Very soon we are uplifting to third whenever we get some of the aircrafts. Very recently we have a deal with the USA. Right? So we'll be looking for strengthening of our airforce. Okay, fine. Now, its main motive is to secure the Indian air space. If you see Indian air space. So, in order to secure Indian airspace, the Air Force is looking. Also, to conduct the aerial warfare. So these are some of the missions of the Air Force. So whenever, as again we will going for some kind different kinds of, let's say, attacks or kind of mission, well known, and your generation has witnessed it. That is, let's say, Uri. So in Uri, the Air Force has also helped. In fact, it is a kind of branch of Indian Army to deploy that particular commandos into that section. So they might have gone by the helicopter. So again, that is nothing but the job of this one, right? So, or later on we have air strike, right? The name is, who is the always you have to keep in mind his rank. So Vardhaman Abhinandan, right? So you have to always look for Abhinandan's bravery, who had executed India's first air strike, right? To be, let's say, approved air strike, right? So after Uri, we have gone for air strike. So it was completely by Air Force. right? So these are some of the operations, and it is the part of missions of the different, let's say, kind of these particular, we can consider the operations. So I was talking about the field marshal, or I had just talked about a field marshal. Okay, one more thing here.
Hello,
So this is
sir.
always being headed by as like this. This is headed by Chief of Air Force Staff. Air Force Staff. So always keep in mind these are the highest ranks who are heading the respective armed forces. Some time ago, I said about the rank or the highest honor called Field Marshal. I will again go into this Field Marshal. And I had written two names. First is, say, okay, I will write first name, second name first now. That is Sam Manik Shah, who was, let's say, in 1973, who was the Field Marshal. And second one is K.M. Kariappa. You people might have read stories or books on these two. There are separate books available in market on these two great people or great warriors of Indian Army. And he was in 1986 the Field Marshal. So respectively, I said in Navy. So this is about Army, right? Now in Navy, if you consider highest rank, and here we will be writing for Air Force. So respective to Field Marshal, here in Navy, there is highest honor, which is called Admiral of Fleet. Admiral of Fleet. Likewise, in the Air Force, it is always called Marshal of the Air Force. Marshal of the Air Force. Now see, for you all who are preparing for SPI and subsequently to enter into NDA, I will leave a dream to you, right? Those who wanted to enter into this particular branch. So this field is, or this particular highest honor is vacant till date. Nobody has been Admiral of Fleet. So till now, it has never awarded, right? So those who are trying or those who are looking for Navy, they have biggest dream to become India's first Admiral of Fleet. Now let's move towards this one. As here there are two different field marshals. Here this is still date vacant, and now this one here the Marshal of Air Force is Arjun Singh. Indian Air Force the highest honor or the ceremonial honor position is conferred to the Arjun Singh. So altogether here you have to keep in mind these three names, right? Some time ago, previously, the questions have been asked on either of these three names, right? Nowadays, in recent 2-3 question papers, this hasn't been discussed, rather this hasn't been asked, but you never know what is going to be asked, right? So always keep in mind these three different names. So this is not there, fine. So this is, as I said, as your dream, you can try to nurture it so that you will be looking for highest honor or the greatest position which you can attain in this particular case. Now, this is related to the background of the armed forces for India. As I said, each of these have been fragmented or let's say divisioned, and that are called commands. So army is having 7 different commands, navy is having 3 different commands, and Air Force is having again 7 different commands, but these 7 different commands are called 5 plus 2. So these two are for maintenance and training, right? And these are for actual air bases where we have a lot of aircrafts to fight against enemies or to protect our, in fact, India's air space, right? So yesterday I just have written something about this, right? Very shortly I will again go through these names so that you will be having these things all together, right, as a particular group of this particular commands, right? So first is, yesterday I said Central Command, which was at Lucknow. Second was about Eastern Command, which was at Kolkata, right? So I said again trick for this. So since it is at Eastern, at east side of India, so obviously it should be at Kolkata. Then Western, so it is at Chandi Mandir, right? It is in Haryana, right? So this is third one. Fourth one is the Southern Command. You can call it as Southern as well, but many of the students will pronunciate it as Southern Command. And this will be, this is at Pune, right? Situated at Pune. Then fifth one is Eastern, Western, Southern. So obviously the last one is Northern Command, right? So this is at Udhampur in the J and K, Jammu and Kashmir. Fine. Then obviously Eastern, Western, Southern, Northern, right? Central. Now obviously the remaining two will be the either of the combinations. So first is South and let's say West. So these two. So Southern, Western Command, or you can say South Western Command, right? Which is in the Rajasthan at say Jaipur. And obviously last one is the Army Training Command. In fact, its name is Army Training Command, which is at Shimla into the Himachal Pradesh. So always keep in mind, right? So aim of this particular command is what? So there might be possibility that it can be asked, right? So it has to always maximize the effectiveness. Maximize what you are doing currently. You are also being maximizing the effectiveness of your studies for the SPI preparation through ASTA, right? So maximize the effectiveness of the training. So this is the unique thing which is always coming across these commands and along with this particular command, right? So Army Training Command. So altogether these are 7 different commands. So you have to always look for these 7 different names, right? Called the different commands in the army. Now let's move towards the Navy. So in this particular case, as I said, there are 3 different commands in order to secure Indian maritime borders. It is being structured and controlled by these 3 different commands. So very first command is called as Eastern Naval Command. Eastern Naval Command. So since it is at Eastern, and obviously this will be always at the edge of the land and water, right? So the borders of India having water will be obviously the places of these commands. So Eastern Naval Command is at Visakhapatnam at Andhra Pradesh. Visakhapatnam, right? Andhra Pradesh. So this is the first and largest command of the naval staff, let's say of Navy, right? First and the largest. Fine. Then second command is the Western Naval Command. Can you guess where it will be?
Cochin.
Okay,
Cochin.
so it is at Mumbai. It is at Mumbai. And last command is Southern Naval Command, which is at Kochi in the Kerala. Right. So these two commands are known as operational commands. Whenever you want to fight with, right? Some of you might have seen the film Ghazi Attack. If not, you must see it. Right. So operational commands. Whereas this command is nothing but a training command. So the people of Navy are being trained at this particular command. As specially we have a training command for Indian Army, which is which is known as Army Training Command, which is at Shimla. Likewise, so these are three different commands of Navy. And now the commands of Air Force. So as I said, there are total 7 different commands of again for Air Force, right, which are divided into 5 plus 2. So why these two? We will see. They have some significance, right? As like here, these are the 2 operational commands, and this is as a training command, right? So the first command is, let's call as Central Air Command. Now see, since it is a central, so it must be at the center of India or nearby center of India, and it is at, I will write the changed name, Prayag Raj. You might be seeing in some of the books as Allahabad.
Bad.
Right. So again, this is
Mama,
a topic
mummy,
of
the mobile and mama.
this is topic of one of the lectures, the names of the cities or the changed names of the cities. Fine. So first command is Central Air Command at Prayagraj, which is at Allahabad, right? Fine. Which is in the UP. Now this is looking for the air bases in the MP and the surrounding states. MP and surrounding states. So these commands are looking for different air space of India, right? As like the Indian Army commands or naval commands are looking for different regions
Hello.
of
Sir, can you
land
repeat?
and
Sir, can you repeat
maritime.
Central Command?
Right. So Air Force
Hello.
is, yes, Air Force is having 7 different commands. So the first command is Central Air Command, which is at Prayagraj, right? The other is Allahabad, right? It is in the Uttar Pradesh. This is operated for the air bases or air security of air base in the state of Madhya Pradesh and surrounding states. Fine. So each of these commands are looking to a certain Indian air space. So security of certain air space is given to either of the commands so that the whole country's air space will be secured and the operation is smoothly conducted. Fine. So first is Central Air Command. Second will be, let's say, Eastern Air Command. Eastern Air Command. Now see, as I said, it is at Eastern. So that doesn't mean now you should again go to Kolkata, because it will never be crowded in a single city, right? So every command will not be at the single city. Fine. So as far as the security is concerned, it is always very easy to be fragmented or to be scattered. So it is at Shillong. very fine, right, to the eastern side. So Shillong. So Shillong is in which state? Meghalaya, right? So again, it is operational command, and it is rather it has looked for very great wars. If you consider the Indo-China War, India and China War of 1962. So after that, India thought that there must be very fine at the eastern side, so that next time whenever China looks to have such kind of attack, it will be always very easy for us to go and counter attack. And therefore, this has been established, right, at that particular point. Fine. That doesn't mean it was not operational. It was operational, but in fact, it is upgraded at Shillong as known as Eastern Air Command, which is at Shillong, right? So it has taken part into different kinds of operations. That is very first operation, let's say 1962 operation, then the creation of Bangladesh from, let's say, East Pakistan and West Pakistan kind of thing, right? So in 1971 war, this has also take part, or it has fought the that particular war. This has also took part into the relief operation in the Orissa in different cyclones, right? So third is now, let's call it as Western Air Command. So this Western Air Command is at New Delhi. This is at New Delhi. Fine. So if you look for this one, so this is the largest command of the Indian Air Force, right? As I said, this is the largest, and they are also in the army, if you consider the largest. Fine. So now this is responsible for the aerial defense of complete North India, right? So it is responsible, and it is situated at New Delhi, known as Western Air Command. Fourth one is, let's say, Southern Air Command, and this is at Thiruvananthapuram.